everyone and welcome back to my channel. So, we have talked a lot about study techniques that work for me, about how to study without motivation, how to focus better, and a lot other stuffs all just to boost productivity, right? But the one thing that we have not talked about yet is study techniques that do not work for me, which is what we will be talking about exactly in this video. It's not a rule that everything that works for someone has to work for you, and that's actually okay, right? So you should experiment a little. I did as well. I mean, I waste a lot of time just experimenting techniques. So I experimented a lot, and I have finally figured out many techniques that do not work for me. And well, I will be discussing just that in this video. So without further ado, let's get started. The first technique is the Pomodoro technique. In case you do not know what that is, you have been living in a different world. But okay, Pomodoro is about studying for 25 minutes and then giving yourself 5 minutes of a break. The thing is, when I study, I am very focused, and then the timer rings and I'm like, I'm having a moment here, I'm trying to study this tough concept. And the timer, the clock, it just messes up my focus, my brain. And if I ever use the Pomodoro technique, all I ever do is just focus on the clock and not on the content. So it just does not work for me. Instead, what I do is I focus on more of a task-based studying. Like, I have to complete this many things right now, and not I have to study this many minutes right now. And well, that works for me. Technique number 2 is group studying. I feel like I study the best when I am all by myself, and studying with others just turns into a gossip session with me. I can't help it, but yeah. And also, even if we are all focused and studying, I can't help but be overwhelmed by other people's pace of how they're studying. So it does not work for me. I learn best when I'm teaching myself or when I'm learning all alone and not comparing myself with someone else how they are studying. And well, that is it. So group study is another thing that do not work for me. That does not work for me. Number 3 is watching videos at a 2x speed. I mean, I want to feel like a genius absorbing content very fast. And to be honest, I can also understand what the teachers are telling when I am listening to videos at 2x, but I just cannot absorb the content. I mean, it just becomes too overwhelming, and the half the time I spend on the lecture is just a waste of time. Instead, what I go for is 1.5x, which works for me. 2x is just a little bit too fast for me. I cannot absorb that much content, especially medical content, which is a lot to take in such a huge speed. So yeah, 2x watching videos does not work for me. Technique number 4 is making aesthetic notes. We all have watched so many color coded notes, aesthetic notes on whether made digitally or by hand. We have seen a lot of those, right? So I'm also someone who believes a lot in aesthetics. If my notes look good, I feel good, right? But I tried it too many times, but Pinterest level notes are not my cup of tea. It just takes me a very long time to just write notes in that Pinteresty level, and I spend a lot more time designing than learning. What works for me instead is just using 3 pens, black, blue, and red, and just making notes along the lectures, and I'm done with that. I do not make notes while I'm studying. It just does not helps me. It just does not help me absorb the content that I'm studying. What I do rather is that while studying, I make rough notes which I never look at again, and well, that works for me. I have never been able to make Pinteresty notes. It's not my cup of tea. But if you have, do let me know how you do that. I would love to make them someday. The next one is highlighting everything. Let's just say my books looked very good before need full of highlighters, very pretty aesthetic. But when I tried to revise it, it was a nightmare. So after 11th, I turned into a new system. I only highlighted books when they followed a code. I mean, I only highlighted PYQs in my NCRT. I did not highlight anything else because if I started highlighting, everything would be important and the whole book will be colored and I would not be able to revise, right? So yeah, that's what I do. I just highlight the portions that I have predetermined, like highlight PYQs only, and that's all I highlight because highlighting everything according to what my mind asks me to do is not a good idea because my mind asks me to hide. Let's just say it's not a good idea. The next technique is studying late at night. I mean, most of the people I meet are either night owls or morning people. But I am none of those. I can't stay up after 12 a.m. and I cannot wake up before 8 a.m. So basically, I'm screwed, right? I cannot study late at night and I cannot study early in the morning. What works for me, however, is just studying in the day or in the evening when I'm comfortable and when my brain works the best when I am comfortable. So just making myself stay up late or wake up early does not work for me. I just stay miserable and I cannot study like that. The next step is using fancy study planners. I mean, I get the appeal, they are very aesthetic. Using study planners and just making your notes, writing your to do list, what to do, scheduling, those all sound very aesthetic to me. Just the kind of Pinterest dream I want to live someday. But if I start using a planner like that, I would never be able to sit back to study. I would always be like, let's write this, let's change this, which I do a lot of times. So what I do now was that I just use simple to-do list. If I want, just write them down in my whiteboard and that is it. I do not use planners because I love them a lot, but if I use them, I'll just keep using them and not study. So yeah. The next step is listening to music while studying. I mean, I have seen a lot of study with me music playlist, study with me playlist, and so many study playlists. And I wish I could use any one of them while studying, but my brain just refuses to focus if I use a playlist. If I listen to music, it would not listen to me. It just would listen to the music. I mean, I have tried this a lot of times, but whenever I just sit down and start listening to music while I study, all I do is just vibe to the music and the studying is gone. And I'll just realize an hour later that I just had a music party and the entire plans for the day was ruined. So yeah, this is another thing that does not work for me. So yeah, not every study technique works for every student, and no, that does not make you lazy or undisciplined. It just means you're human. Find what fits you. You do you and ditch the rest. Well, that was it for this video. Let me know in the comments which of this you have tried and hated or which ones actually work for you. And do not forget to like, share and subscribe if this made you feel a little less alone in the study productivity world. And well, that was it for this one. See you in the next one and bye bye.